And the secret sauce of the Israeli high-tech is the Jewish mother. She doesn't have to be Jewish, and she doesn't have to be female. Sex-wise, I am a man, but gender-wise, I'm a Jewish mother. Jewish mother have a plan for her son. Since the moment they are being born, she knows where they should get in the next 30, 40, 50, 60 years. You ask a Jewish mother, how old are your sons? And she will tell you, the engineer is 5 years old, and the scientist is 7 years old. The two things that Jewish people are thriving on for the last 2,000 years is the mixture of guilt and panic. After all what we have done for you, asking for one Nobel Prize is really so much. And she doesn't live alone. You know what is the difference between a Rottweiler dog and a Jewish mother? A Rottweiler dog, at the end, let go. You know what is the difference between Jewish mother and Italian mother? Italian mother tell her kid, if you don't finish the food, I will kill you. A Jewish mother tell her kid, if you don't finish the food, I will kill myself. And then she began to push her son crazy. She will tell him, for instance, I was sitting next to the phone all Saturday long, and the telephone didn't ring, and I know it was you. She will, you know the story about the Jewish mother who bought her son 2 ties, one red and one blue. On Saturday he came with the red one, and she gave him the look, and she said, well, you don't like the blue one, huh? Next Saturday he came with the blue one, she looked at him and she said, well, you don't like the red one, huh? Next Saturday he came with the blue one and the red one together, so for a minute she's silent, and then she says, well, you know, your wife is really driving you crazy. My mother used her own special tactic. She always told me, why all your cousins are so smart, and my sisters and brothers have kids which are so smart, and I'm the only one in the family who has an idiot as a son. She had a very good sense about genetics. She told me they are smart and you are idiot because they are not contaminated with the genes of your father. She was one of the first pioneers of biotechnology in Israel, because at the time of the austerities in the 50s, she had a little restaurant, and there was no product, so she was able to turn every organic substance into chopped liver. Another thing which I learned from her, she used to do recursive cooking. She used to make today's dish from yesterday remaining. So what she made today was from the remaining of yesterday. What she made yesterday was from the remaining of the day before. And until now, me and my brother are trying to figure when she bought the original products. And by the way, you have to know that the Jewish kitchen is actually where most of us learned how to protect intellectual property. She would never give the correct recipe to any food. What she used to do is she tell you have to make a cake, you should put a little bit of pepper. Always she put some wrong ingredient. Also I learned from her some good tactics. For instance, when my mother used to go to Shuk Carmel to buy fish, she always pressed the cheek of the fish. If it stay pressed, means the fish is no good. If it comes back, it means good. So when I meet the chairman of the banks, I usually, you have to see if your bankers are still in good shape. I always try to impress her. Actually, I'm also trying to impress her today. It doesn't work well because she died maybe 13 years ago, but I still try to impress her. And in order to impress her, I went to the Technion. I have done a doctorate, and my brother came to her and told her, you see, why do you see Yossi is an idiot? He made a doctorate. So she looked at him and she said, Ilan and Israel, my cousins, are doing research, and he's not doing research. He's not a doctor. He's a Dr. Kaker. This is what she said, and it's not only me. I spoke with Jenya Brin, the mother of Sergey Brin, and I asked her what will be with the fact that Sergey didn't complete his PhD in order to create this company Google, and she told me, this is true story, she told me, Google schmoogle, Sergey has to finish PhD and protect it. An honorary doctorate doesn't count. Then the Technion decided to give me an honorary degree. It was maybe 10 years after my mother died. And in my receiving speech, I told Mother, you see, I got honorary doctorate in the Technion. And I was very pleased when I went to sleep that night. I heard a voice, honorary doctorate is not a real title.
I hesitate to say this, but seriously, Yossi.
What do you mean seriously? Everything I told you
is the truth. I understand. And might there be other factors in the success of Israel as a high-tech innovation driver, along with...
Tell me, where you are trying to lead this conversation?
Nothing against the influence of the mother. Nothing against the influence of the mother.
So the first Jewish president is elected in the United States. Not only it's the first Jewish president, but it's also the first woman president. Mrs. Rosenberg is elected to be the president of the United States. She called her mother and tell her, Mother, I want you to come to the inauguration. Her mother said, look, I'm very old. I live in Florida. I don't want to go. I want to sleep on the same bed I slept for 60 years with your father. May he rest in peace. She said, I will let you sleep in Lincoln bed at the White House.
Amazing.
She said, no, I want to be in Florida. She said, I will send you US One to pick you up.
Air Force One, the president's jet.
She said, well, if you send, I will come. Next day, Mrs. Rosenberg go down the stairs with 2 suitcases. Her neighbor asked her, Mrs. Rosenberg, where are you going? She tell him, you know my son, the doctor? He said, yes, I'm going to visit his sister.